consort was the official term everybody used for very understandable reasons, because in those early days people didn't want to confuse the Queen, Queen Camilla, with the late Queen, in the same way that in 1952 the Queen Elizabeth became the Queen Mother to distinguish her from Queen Elizabeth II. So, but what we saw today, it's fascinating. Go through that order of service, you won't find the word consort at all. Queen Camilla from beginning to end, and I think that's probably what we're going to see from now on. It's in Latin, it's there, it's in the order of service.
And also the parade itself, I mean, that contrast, as Robert Harvin was saying, there was a solemnity, understanding, they beat, and we suddenly all sort of raised ourselves up for that, even through the raindrops. Very, very colourful and vibrant, and it continues, this wonderful parade.
Well, the ceremony goes back to the 11th century, Westminster Abbey. It's very different, and I think the scale of military power is much, much reduced. And in some ways that's a very good thing. But I think this other stuff in tradition is good.
Well, it's in a way it's recognising the effort that all the armed forces have put in. I mean, they've been rehearsing this sometimes through the middle of the year and salute their commander-in-chief. But if you're on parade, the one thing you almost never see is the commander-in-chief. See him. So it was an idea of the Earl Marshal, the Duke of Norfolk, who put all this together, and the King, that everyone who takes part in the procession should be given the opportunity to actually, sorry for the gardener, I have to say.
It's a bad day for the gardener.
He's got a garden party next Tuesday as well, so
it only gets worse.
Yes. Of this lineage is absolutely fascinating. People all around the world, you can see that on scale and media interest. I think I get worried when people say that this is somehow enhances the position in the world. I think people are interested. I'm not quite sure it does perform the soft power purpose that many people suggest. But it's certainly something which people are fascinated about and associate with the book.
For now, both of you, thank you so much. It's so interesting to talk to you. I think Anita Rani is still on now. She is amongst those crowds. Anita.
Thanks, Kirsty. I am still on the mall. I'm with Emma May Miller, who is a young ambassador for the Prince's Trust.
Mum, the Prince's Trust!
Yay! The Young Changemaker Awards.
Yeah.
High five on that. How was that experience?
I guess life-changing. Being presented with such a big award with the King giving it to me, it was completely surreal, and all I did was cry the entire time because it was just like shock that how did I manage to get this? Why am I being recognised? Yeah, it was just I have no words for it. It's just completely crazy.
And then you met him again.
And I met him again.
And he remembered you.
And he remembered me.
I'm not surprised. But your involvement with the Prince's Trust started because you were supported by it.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
So in January of 2020, I started receiving support from my Youth Development League UN. It was identified that I was in a really bad place, so I did one of the programmes called Explore, which is all about finding confidence, learning to be yourself, building self-resilience. So I
Because you were a young carer, weren't you? And
so,
you suffered with quite severe anxiety.
yeah. So growing up being a young carer and also struggling with social anxiety disorder. I was at a point where I wasn't leaving my room. I wasn't able to have friends. I didn't have any hobbies. I had no life, and I was stuck in my room 24/7.
And how did being supported by the Prince's Trust change that for you?
It gave me the realisation that I can do anything. I just need to push myself out of my comfort zone a little, and push myself to just be me, really. Just let my personality show.
And how are you now?
I do lots of different events. I'm a young ambassador for Prince's Trust, so I get to attend so many events and meet lots of different people, and getting to enjoy my life.
And from someone who couldn't leave their room to now being on national telly.
On national
Being
telly.
so confident and so brilliant. Emma May, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
What do you make of all that? Deborah, what a spectacle.
What a spectacle. And you know what, I was a bit worried this morning because it was raining, but it hasn't made any difference. It's kind of made it even more British. We're very good at weather, aren't we?
I think that's true. And of course, the last coronation, I'm choosing to look upon this positively, because the last coronation 70 years ago, it was unseasonably cold and wet. And we had this very historic and wonderful. I'm taking this as a good omen.
I think you're right to do so. It turned out rather well in 1953. And I think it's been a wonderful spectacle, a wonderful day. The moment I was watching on TV, I was in the car on the way up,
and I was watching it on the phone, and the moment where he said, "God save the King," out loud, I had a moment.
Did you?
I was just on my, and I literally welled up. It was out of the blue like this. Wow! And it's incredible, and it's interesting to still feel this way about it. I find that sort of fascinating. That we were talking about it being an ancient tradition,
Yes,
and all this, but still it resonates so strongly, certainly with me. And the pomp and the ceremony and all the armed forces are out and everybody there. And everybody, the 3 cheers you spoke about earlier, but I find it just really, really emotional and I love it.
It's a really interesting thing because, of course, quite legitimately it won't resonate with everybody. There'll be some people for whom it's a complete turn-off, but the people that it does mean something to, it does get you right there.
It does, but I think even if you're not particularly strongly royalist, the community,
To their music, they're watching their television programs, everything is sort of fed to us. In a sense, the community where we can all come together and agree on something
it's
feels
rare.
pretty good.
Yeah.
On Monday, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was the big help out, because this is part of the push of this coronation weekend. We've got a bank holiday on Monday. The King is interested in people not just sitting on their backsides. He wants them to volunteer.
And as a legacy piece, not just on Monday, you know,
Okay.
sort of forever. So
this is the Kickstarter for it.
Absolutely, it's called the Big Help Out, and we have so far about 1,200 businesses already signed up. Huge organisations through to tiny organisations. We're expecting 6 million people to volunteer in something. And there's a platform that you can go onto and say, that's what I really want to do in my local area. And you've got charities on the platform, they can say these are the type of projects that you can support. So it's really about getting people involved, because volunteering is very good. It doesn't just do fantastic good. It's good for the soul, it's good for the mental health, it kind of gets you involved in things.
Do you think there are a proportion of people who might want to help, but they don't know where to begin? Because they don't know if they get it right, they don't know how many hours they'd have to give up, they don't know if they'd really enjoy it, and then if they give up, would they feel terrible because then it's a failure? You know, there are little bits of resistance in all of us.
I think you're
volunteering.
absolutely right, but also I think that's why business has had to get involved, because businesses need to be able to say, yes, you can take time off. You know,
Okay.
and not only that,
Will businesses say that?
well, my businesses are, yes.
Okay.
And they are, clearly, because there's 1,200 businesses that signed up to do it. And also showing people, you know, go onto this platform and you can choose what you want to get involved in, because the things that you love might not be the things that I love, that, you know, get me fired up. So I think it's a wonderful way of making. You know, I think that's really important to all of us, isn't it?
Well, a little bit means so much, that's the thing. You don't have to feel that you're going to have to commit swathes of time to this. You can just do a bit, but it means so much. You give, by doing a bit, you give so much. And I think that's the most important thing. And often with these things, just getting started, and then you'll end up building on it yourself anyway.
And when you are, as my granny would have said, such a well-kempt face, when you are on such